Hey guys, Madison here, and today I am celebrating 10,000 subscribers. I am so excited. And to celebrate the occasion, I'm going to be doing a special AMA Ask Me Anything for everyone. Everyone who wanted to submit a question, you will get your burning question answered today. But before I get to the AMA, I thought it would be fun to do a special highlight reel celebrating some of my favorite reaction moments here on the channel that got me to this point, some of your favorite reaction moments. Warning, in this highlight reel there will be lots of spoilers for the movies I have reacted to. So if you have not seen one or more of these movies, pause the video and look down in the description. I will have a list of movies that I am showing in this highlight reel that you might see a spoiler for. So if you are trying to avoid spoilers for any of these, pause the video, check the description, and make sure you're not going to see anything that makes you angry at me. Okay, with that said, on to the highlight reel.
This is pitiful. 1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat. Groundhog, they used to mean something.
You
Indy shot first.
Mine are boxer shorts.
What's the difference?
These are Hanes
Underwear is
32.
underwear, right?
These are Hanes 32. My boxer shorts have my name and it says Rain.
Shut up!
Yeah. Cincinnati's a long.
We are not going to Cincinnati.
It's terrible, but I can't stop laughing.
Raymond, that is final. Phil Connors!
Ned?
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, are you okay?
Write us out of this one. Wilder? John Wilder? I read your books. I read all your books. Come in. Esta es Juanita Aguados. Le damos la bienvenida, ¿verdad, muchachos?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Never thought I would see Tom Cruise chasing his eyeballs down a dark hallway. But here we are.
Hold on here. Well, we deserve it. We've been getting away with murder for the last couple of weeks. Our high today could possibly be... That's it. Tonight,
No.
back down on the 20-degree range.
Are you for real? He didn't even cook those. Just ate them raw. Holy crap. Torch it, man, torch it! 1945. I love spooky. Ah! Ah! Oh! Oh! Woo! Oh, God. No, not a spider thing! I can't.
That's the number of times I've seen them. I've seen the young woman the most.
Say what?
Do you think they will? The intruders.
They took the curtains down. Oh, yes, I assure you it was them.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Is that how she killed you?
They don't know they're dead.
How often do you see them?
All the time.
We're not dead! We're not dead! We're not dead! We're not dead!
What?
Once again, thank you so much for coming.
Are you alone in the house?
guys. I did not sign up for this. Well, okay, I did.
But what is grief? If not love, persevering.
Oh my gosh.
What did you ask?
Do I make her proud?
Oh. Oh.
Then he meets her at the airport. They sail off around the world together. Jody, you are now a world-class hopeless romantic. Hopeful. Hopeful romantic.
You'll always have Paris. Now. He's looking at you, kid.
I like having you for my big brother.
Yeah.
Oh, guys.
You were never second. Ever. I love you.
We'll see you again. But not yet. Not yet.
No way. It's not Cad Bane. It's not. It's not. Is it?
Well, that's the guy I've been worried about this whole time. Kingpin.
Holy crap. Wow. Look at her. Yes, I knew it. I called it. I knew it was gonna come back. Yes. Oh man. Freaking epic. Oh my gosh. Freaking cool, man. What a duo.
It's time to stop running!
Dodge this.
Oh. Dodge this.
I'd like a word with my husband.
Yes, queen. So many great moments, so many shocking moments, and I'm looking forward to having so many more of those moments with you guys on this channel. I am so grateful and thankful to have reached the 10K milestone. It's something you dream about, but you never know if you're gonna get there, and I'm just so grateful to you guys. So thank you guys so much, and without further ado, let's get to your questions. My favorite reaction so far? Rear Window. My initial question is, would it be possible to have at least once a month a classic film from what's considered the Golden Age, movies from the 1920s through the 50s. Well, I like to switch things up. I never like to box myself in on polls to like only this genre or only this decade. October is really an exception. I really loved doing Scary Movie Month last year, and I'm probably going to be doing that again this year, but that's an exception. I will definitely be reacting to more classic movies from that time period. I'll be putting them on the polls, and if they win, you know, I will keep reacting to them. But I would not say that I'll have polls with only movies from that decade on there, if that makes sense. I like having variety and people having as many options as possible. So they will be on the polls, and if you vote for them, they might win. Congratulations! Who is your favorite director, past or present, and why? You know, I don't really have a favorite director. I mean, so many of my favorite films are directed by different people. So I guess if I had to pick one, just because of the incredible, amazing achievement it is, I think I might go with Peter Jackson, and that is solely because of his amazing achievement with the Lord of the Rings trilogy. That is a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-generation achievement right there. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is my favorite set of films. Absolutely incredible, and I don't think we'll ever see an adaptation of Lord of the Rings or anything in Middle-earth as just mind-blowingly epic and heartfelt as that. I think it's kind of impossible to ever top that. It was such a special filming experience for the cast. Like, the cast was absolutely perfect, and they actually had these familial bonds with each other by the end of the shooting experience because of doing them all together. Shooting all 3 movies at the same time over there in New Zealand. It was just such a unique thing, so I'll go with Peter Jackson. Hi Madison, I'd love to know how to see some of your artwork. Also, it was your reaction to Romancing the Stone that I really enjoyed. That was a movie I saw and always loved as a kid. It was great seeing how you really enjoyed the film after so many years. Yes, I absolutely loved that movie. Oh God. I'm gonna have to watch it again sometime soon. It was just such a blast. But if you want to see some of my artwork, you can head on over to madisontames.com. That is my art website. And you can also follow me on Instagram at MadisonKTames. That's where I post all of my latest art and updates. So head on over there and check that out if you're interested. All of the links, I'll put all the links in the description below on this video. But there's also links on my YouTube channel. If you look up in the top right corner, there's all those little icons, and there's a link to my art website, to my Patreon, Instagram, and I think Twitter as well. So you can just go up there and click on those little buttons and it will take you to my pages. Madison, what are your favorite types of films and what types of films are a turnoff? My favorite genre is the Western. Anyone who has been around for a while will know of my obsession with Westerns. Yeah, that's my favorite. I also am a big fantasy fan. Really, I can get on board with pretty much any genre. It depends on the quality of the film, obviously, but I can enjoy so many different things. I mean, you can tell from the channel, from the epic action films to the horror films to the quiet dramas. I mean, comedies. I can enjoy pretty much any genre. I guess what's a turnoff for me is mindless movies. There is a place in cinema for mindless popcorn, fun, flick entertainment, but it is not my preference. When I go to a movie, I want to have something thought-provoking in it. A deep theme or a really moving character arc or something. When I just see a trailer for a movie that looks like mindless action and shooting things and like nothing of substance, I'm immediately like, no, I'm not interested in this movie. Are you from the South? If so, what state? Alabama, born and raised. Hi Madison, just wondering if you have any plans for reviewing any of Christopher Nolan's movies such as Inception, Interstellar, Prestige, etc. I would love to, but unfortunately I've seen all of those movies. I love Inception, I love Interstellar, I love The Prestige, I love the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. I've seen all of those and I love them. Christopher Nolan is such an amazing director. You know, I think the only one, like a recent one that I haven't seen is Tenet. I could put that on a poll if you guys are interested in me reacting to that movie. I heard sort of mixed things about that movie, like some people loved it and some people were just really confused and like what even was going on. So if you guys are interested in seeing a reaction to Tenet, let me know in the comments below and maybe I'll put it on a poll. Or any other Christopher Nolan movie that I haven't seen. With the Triple Crown upon us, are you considering putting up Seabiscuit for a vote on May 20th, the opening day of the Preakness Stakes? I get the feeling you're a lover of horses. Do you have any thoughts or feelings on the nature of competitive racing? Oh, that's a can of worms. The short answer is maybe. That's always my answer to will you react to blank. I might put Seabiscuit on a poll. Why not? I love Tobey Maguire, and as far as I can recall, I have not ever seen Seabiscuit, which is really crazy when I think about it. I don't know how, but I don't think I have. My thoughts on horse racing have really evolved over the years. I used to just be obsessed with it. I played the G1 Jockey video games and Gallop Racer, such fun games, such good times. I played hours and hours of those games. So I always loved watching horse racing, playing horse racing video games. I would always watch the Derby. I would actually run fake horse races around my house. I have all these Breyer horses. I have an entire collection of Breyer horses. I think my final count ended around like 72, 73. And now all of you are turning off this video because you're like, she's a crazy horse girl. But I would set them up and I had rules because I played it like a game. I would roll the die and they would go a certain number of spaces. I would run, you know, these horse races around my house. Can't believe I just admitted to that on camera. Anyway, my thoughts have changed in recent years as I've learned more about the abuse that happens to racehorses, the way they're treated behind the scenes, the doping that goes on. It's very sad. And in addition to that, horses aren't fully grown until at least 5 years old. So the horses that are running the Triple Crown are 3 years old, and a lot of them start racing when they're 2 years old. That's why so many of them have leg injuries or other injuries. Legs will break because they're still growing. They're not ready for that amount of strain yet. So there are people in the business who love their horses and really do care about them, but in general, not a fan of the sport anymore because of the physical strain it puts on young horses that aren't ready for it, and the steroids and things that go on behind the scenes. Maybe if they cleaned it up and they raced them when they're a little older, you know, and they're matured and they're ready for that kind of thing. But the way it is now, not a big fan. If you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be? You know, I've been asked this question before and my answer always changes, because there are so many people, right, that we would all love to talk to. You know what, today, in keeping with my Lord of the Rings theme, I'm going to say J.R.R. Tolkien. Imagine having dinner with Tolkien. That would just be a dream come true for me. I would have so many questions, but really I would just want to listen to him talk as long as he wanted about his thought process creating that universe. And everything about the characters and the languages and everything would be so fascinating. And you said anyone, you didn't say just one person. So to make it even better, I'm going to say Tolkien and C.S. Lewis together, because with the two of them being such close friends, they would just end up talking to each other the whole time, and I could just sit there and listen and like ask a question every now and then and be like, this the whole time, like, please do go on. Because I love both of them and their work so much. They're such they were such intelligent, incredible men with such, you know, amazing lives even outside of their writing. The things they saw and went through. So yeah, I gotta go with Tolkien and C.S. Lewis on that one. What was your favorite film growing up? Loved the Ripley reactions. Well, thank you. I loved reacting to those movies too. 2 of my favorites I've done so far. You know, my favorite film is always changing, and that's always been true. Like, even since I was a kid, I would go through phases and watch a certain movie for a month and then move on to another one. But one that I consistently watched for probably at least a couple of years. I even forced everyone to watch it at my birthday party one year. I love Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron. It is still one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think it's one of the greatest, not just one of the greatest animated films of all time, but just one of the greatest films of all time. It's everything about it is perfect, wouldn't change a thing. Such incredible visuals, like a hybrid of classic 2D animation with CG, and the music by Hans Zimmer and Bryan Adams, absolutely incredible. The story, everything about it, perfection. So that was a film I was absolutely obsessed with as a kid, being a horse girl. And I still absolutely love it. Whenever I go back and watch it now, my nostalgia for it is so strong that I cannot watch it without crying. Cannot. Like, as soon as Here I Am starts, boom, tears. Hi Madison, greetings from sunny Malaysia. What are your thoughts on Grogu being the Star Wars universe's first Jedi/Mandalorian hybrid? With the introduction of both Luke Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano, would you be interested if the series brought in another Jedi Knight from the games/novelizations? Hello. So I love Grogu. I mean, who doesn't, right? I love Grogu, so I am completely fine with him being the first Jedi Mandalorian hybrid. I'm very interested to see how that unfolds and how that goes. You know, like, will other Mandalorians accept Grogu? Where will his journey take him? Will he end up going more Mandalorian or more Jedi? He seems to have kind of rejected the Jedi code and the Jedi way, so I feel him becoming more like an Ahsoka type, where it's like not really a Jedi, more of just a Force user. See, the thing with Ahsoka is kind of complicated now, not to go off on an Ahsoka tangent, but you know, she has the line in Rebels, I am no Jedi, but then it's like by the time of The Mandalorian, she's more Jedi again, so it's very complicated and confusing. But the short answer is I am completely fine with it. I am so excited to see where Grogu goes next. And I mean, The Mandalorian, I think The Mandalorian is best when it's not being taken over by Jedi, like Force user characters. I think it works better when Grogu is in isolation. It gives Din more room to struggle if there's not a Luke Skywalker or an Ahsoka around to save the day. I don't know who they would bring in games and novelizations. I mean, at this point in this canon, there aren't too many Jedi around. Someone I really want to see and I expect to see, although not necessarily in The Mandalorian, I expect to see him in the Ahsoka series, is Ezra Bridger, but that is not from you asked about the games and novelizations. A character I would love to see in something, but again, not necessarily The Mandalorian, is Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order. I think that would be super cool. I mean, Cameron Monaghan plays him in the game, would completely transition perfectly to live action as well, so I would love to see him in something. But yeah, I don't really need any more Jedi Force user characters in The Mandalorian. I think we can keep that more to other series like Ahsoka. Are older movies pre-2000 better than modern ones? Why? I mean, it depends on which movie you're looking at. there are some fantastic films that have come out post 2000. A lot of fantastic films. There are a lot of fantastic films that came out pre 2000, and there's also some bad ones. So if you cherry pick, there are fantastic films from every decade. But in general, if you're not looking at just specific examples, I think now we have an epidemic of the blockbuster where, and not just the blockbuster, but streaming. It's even overflowed into streaming, where these big studios, like there's Netflix, there's Amazon, there's Disney, there's Warner Brothers. These big studios are running things, and they are greenlighting shows and they are canceling shows, and they have, feels like a checklist. And that checklist does not always include a good story or making sure you have things planned out before you start something. I think having the ending in mind when you start working on something is crucial. Otherwise, you're gonna have a Game of Thrones incident where the showrunners completely go off the rails in the final season and it's a train wreck, you know. And I was not even a Game of Thrones fan. I have only ever seen the first episode of Game of Thrones, but I loosely followed along online with what fans were thinking of the final season, and it sounded like an absolute train wreck, and going against the characters that had been established over the course of however many seasons. I think it went on like 8 seasons maybe. Completely kind of reversing the progress some of them had made and kind of nosediving those arcs. I think that a lot of directors and writers these days are trying so hard to shock people that they aren't focusing on making a good story and staying consistent with characters. And that is a big problem in a lot of new content post 2000, but especially in the last decade. Trying so hard to shock that you have you're a Palpatine moment that absolutely contradicts and destroys the character that has been built up to until that point. I'm not going to go off on the Rise of Skywalker rant today, but that is a perfect example of the problem with a lot of modern films. All spectacle, all visual effects, no plot. Threadbare plot, threadbare character. And plot twists for the sake of shock value and not actually connecting with the 2 previous installments, changing established facts. Yeah, all that to say, I think there's a lot of boxes that studios are trying to check off every time they make a new series or a new movie. And a lot of times they're not asking the right questions anymore. And it's all about money. How much money are we going to make off of this, and not so much the creative vision anymore. So that's something that I would say was probably stronger pre-2000. But then you have the stories like George Lucas trying to get the first Star Wars made, and studios wouldn't take it because it was so bonkers off the wall at the time. So have studios ever really been forces of good in the world of cinema? That's the real question. Do you read books? If so, what are 3 of your favorite books? Yes, I do. Haven't gotten to read as much lately as I would like, but off the top of my head, No Country for Old Men by Cormac McCarthy. Absolutely love it. I read it for the first time last year, couldn't put it down. I need to read it again as soon as possible. I also love the classics. It's very hard for me to pick one. I love books like Pride and Prejudice, Wuthering Heights, Jane Eyre. All of those are absolutely fantastic. I love period romance stories. They're some of the nearest and dearest to my heart, so that's several books that I love. Do you watch other reaction channels? I watch one reaction channel, and that is Blind Wave. They are the first reaction channel I ever stumbled upon. I think I was looking for a reaction to a Marvel film that had recently come out, and I was hooked. Their content is so great, and I love the dynamic between all of them. I actually got to meet them at Star Wars Celebration 2019, and it was so cool getting to meet them in person after enjoying their content for several years on YouTube. Yeah, once I found their channel, I was like, I don't need any more reaction channels. This is all I need right here. These guys are fantastic. They're hilarious. I love their friendship. If you haven't watched a Blind Wave reaction, go check them out. They're the best out there. What genre of movies did you never look at or explore before your channel that you feel you have a greater appreciation for now after your channel? Horror movies. Definitely horror movies. I was never a scary movie fan growing up. I would watch them like few and far between. Every now and then I'd watch a scary movie, but I was never into horror, and I've watched a lot of them now since starting the channel. It all started with last year when I did Scary Movie Month, and I watched a scary movie every week, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the genre and different types of horror films, and I was like, wow, these are so much more than just scary movies. These are incredible characters, these are incredibly moving stories. I love the aesthetic of a lot of horror movies. I turned a corner. I reached a new point in my character development, and you saw some of those moments in my highlight reel earlier. Absolutely loved those movies, and they've had such a big influence on me now, and it actually made me go like, maybe one day I want to write a horror story. That would be so much fun. So now it's like on my bucket list, write a scary novel at some point in my life. If you could play a role in a movie you've watched on the channel, what movie would you choose and what character would you play? Ooh, that's tough. Can I pick two movies? Because I want to say Alien and Aliens, and I would be Ripley. I would never presume to take Sigourney Weaver's place, but if I had to pick like just a really freaking cool, awesome character that would just be so much fun, like just running around with that crew, running from the aliens, shooting at the aliens, just so intense and like high stakes and fun. I would love to play Ripley. That would be so awesome. I think you mentioned once being raised around horses. Were you actually raised on a real farm with horses? And if so, do you still live the farm or cowboy/cowgirl life? I have never lived on a farm. I have always ridden horses though since I was 6 years old. And before that I was begging to be allowed to start horse riding lessons, and it was finally when I turned 6 years old I was allowed to start doing horse riding lessons, and I have been riding horses ever since. I have never lived on a farm or a ranch, although that's the dream. I would love to do that eventually at some point in my life. I got my first horse when I was 11, and I still have him with me. His name is Champion. He is 27 years old now, so he is happily retired. He gets to stand out in the pasture and eat grass all day. He has earned it. And my other horse is Doc. He's the new guy. He just turned 8 last month, so he is the youngster, and he's the new guy, and he is hilarious. He's a sweetheart, and he is very mischievous and playful, and I love him. How is your book going? Is it fiction? How long is it? Word count. My book is going very well, thank you for asking. I'm actually on the final round of edits right now. So in the next couple of months, I'm aiming to get that final round of edits finished, and then I will be submitting it to publishing companies. Hopefully, one of them will take it. I really believe in this story. I'm really excited about it, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. I will be doing a lot of stuff for it on this channel whenever it's actually, coming out. I'll be doing a lot of promotion for it. There will be artwork. There will be lots of exciting things that I'm not going to mention quite yet, but it's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait for you guys to hear more about it. It is fiction. It is a Western. It is an epic story. It is a story of revenge with a twist. And the word count it's always changing because I am doing edits right now, but the word count is currently about 87,000 words. So it's not short for sure, but it's not on the super, super long side either. I think it's a nice length. And that's it for the questions. Thank you guys so much for sending those in. I love getting to talk with you guys and share more about my life, what I'm working on, the movies I love. Thank you guys so much for your questions, and thank you so much for helping me get to 10,000 subscribers. Again, I am just so grateful and thankful. You guys are the best. Here's to 10,000 more. I will see you guys next Friday for Film Friday number 31. So be sure to head on over to my Patreon, patreon.com/MadisonKTames if you're interested in signing up, and then you can vote on the polls for all of my future movie reactions if you're just on the $1 tier. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. Thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this 10K sub celebration, and I will see you guys next week.